Hi, welcome to another video. I'm Dr. Vishal and today I want to talk about medicine and photography and specifically how something as unrelated as photography helped me become a better surgeon. The idea that I'm trying to express is that we often don't give enough importance to our hobbies and passions. We give more importance to our daily job, and rightly so because it brings us food on the table, gives us a sense of security and status. However, if these hobbies taken seriously can give us an edge in our daily jobs as well. And this is what happened with me. So the thing about medicine is that it is a very serious profession. And rightly so, because saving lives is no laughing matter. But very soon I realized that being serious all the time, being responsible all the time, being courteous and careful all the time can weigh heavily on my shoulders. And whether knowingly or unknowingly, I started to gravitate towards things which gave me more joy, more happiness, more peace of mind, and more relaxation. In retrospect, I believe that I have always been a visually inclined person. Since childhood, my hobbies have been painting, and eventually later in life, I chose up surgery as my profession over all other branches of medicine. Both have a strong visual component. The first time I picked up the camera was after my graduation. Till today, the camera has never failed to give me joy, happiness, peace of mind, and relaxation. So, here are a few observations about how something as unrelated like photography gave me an edge in my daily job, which is being a surgeon, and how you can also take your hobbies and passions seriously in exchange of some happiness, some success, and efficiency. The first parallel between photography and surgery is that photography forces you to see actively. As a photographer, you have to visualize everything from a frame and you have to absorb as many details as possible. You have to observe the light, the texture, the color, the expression of people, the highs and lows of the scenery. And this is something which is also very critical when you are operating as a surgeon on a patient. You have to be observant of every minute detail, every minute anomaly, because a little change from here to there can change the progress of the patient, can change your plan of surgery, and can make a difference of day and night in the patient's recovery. Hence, this practice of photography not just trained my eye to see details, but because of digital photography in modern day, we do it so many times you can practically click unlimited number of pictures that this habit of observing with a critical eye became ingrained into my brain. It almost became my second nature. Hence, I believe that photography gave me a better eye for detail, and this has helped me greatly in becoming a better surgeon. The next parallel I observed between photography and surgery is being ready for surprises. Any photographer would tell you the amount of planning which goes behind making those pictures. You have to be there at the right place at the right time. You have to know where the sun is rising from, where the moon is rising from, what is the direction of the wind, what is the quality of light, flash, setting, lenses, gear, this and that. And even after paying so much attention to planning and being very meticulous about it, often things don't go the way you have planned and imagined them. Hence, after a point, you come into the habit of having backup plans. This sounds very close to how we operate as surgeons in the operating theatre. After being observant, we also have to plan the surgery and execute it as planned so that the outcome is as good as possible for the patient. However, once the procedure is started, a good surgeon is always ready for unseen surprises and always have a backup plan as to what he would do if this goes wrong or that goes wrong. So in this way, I believe the practice of photography, knowingly or unknowingly, also prepared me for the events, the surprises that would happen inside the operating theatre. One of my favorite photographers of all time is Platon. Platon has clicked pictures of many great people, and in a recent documentary I saw that he takes great effort in making his subjects comfortable in front of the camera, and only then he gets great, expressive, natural looking pictures. This is something which I also felt when I was clicking pictures of strangers on the street. That is something that I like to do quite often. There is a different thrill and a high attached to seeing people smile at their own pictures once I show them after it has been clicked. Interestingly so, this skill also came in handy when I am seeing patients in the OPD. When patients come to me, they are in great pain, confusion, and discomfort. So, as a doctor, I feel really great if I can make them feel better even before starting my treatment, even before touching a scalpel and making an incision. Hence, this thing about being a communicator and an effective one is something that I picked up from photography and other photographers, and learning how to click better looking pictures by talking to people about them, asking their story so that they become more expressive. This coincidentally is also formally taught in the hospital, in the clinics, in the form of bedside manners and history taking. And when you combine these two, it is great to see your patient's face light up when the confusion goes away and they thank and smile at you before leaving your office. The next surgical skill which photography reinforced in me is focus. Now, clicking pictures is not all fun and games. You have to carry gear, you have to think about your safety, you have to think about safety of the gear, you have to balance so many settings, timing, composition, permission, this and that. In a nutshell, there are so many distracting elements that you have to keep your focus intact if you want great pictures. This is something very similar to what happens inside an operating room. There are so many other possible distractions which can take your focus away from the main surgical steps that you want to perform and the outcome that you want to achieve. Some instrument might be missing, there might be some untoward incident happening in the background, some device might malfunction, some vitals of the patient might suddenly change, and all of these elements can distract you easily if you're not somebody who's trained in maintaining your focus while you're operating on the patient. The real deal in between all of these distractions is to maintain focus and not panic and lose sight of the outcome that you want to achieve. The practice of photography also taught me to think on my feet, which comes in really handy inside the operating room, where you have to think on your feet and try to finish the procedure with reasonable accuracy in a reasonable frame of time. As satisfying as surgery may be, it can also be a highly draining job, both emotionally and physically. Emotionally, because your day generally starts with listening to complaints of patients who are in pain and despair. After a point, it can weigh heavily on your shoulders. It can be physically draining because often surgeries can go on for hours and hours together. You have to maintain your focus. You have to be able to perform at your same level of efficiency for many hours without taking breaks. This can start to wear you out very soon. Photography was a space where I could express myself without having the burden of being responsible and serious all the time. In a nutshell, it worked as a stress buster for me. It helped me come out of my shell of seriousness and responsibility and gave me a stress-free space where I could recharge myself and become more efficient at my main job. Another thing in surgery that I learned via photography is this feeling of instant gratification. Now, generally, instant gratification is considered a very bad thing, and that is mainly because all the things that are associated with instant gratification with short-term gains generally don't help you in the long run. However, I observed that with photography and with surgery, instant gratification has a very positive aspect. If you see, photography is something which gives you immense joy as soon as you have made a picture which you like. It also helps you in spreading joy with other people as soon as you show them the picture. Very similar thing happens in surgery. For a patient who has been facing some problem since many years decides to get operated, the problem which he was facing goes away instantly, and as soon as the patient starts to recover, you can see the benefits of your procedure, of your surgery. I, in my language, would like to call this instant gratification as well. Hence, instant gratification in this particular case brings joy, and surgery and photography both have this common element of giving you instant joy, instant happiness, and in a positive way. Hence, I believe that photography in a way reinforced and taught me more about this feeling of instant gratification, which otherwise I would have missed if I stuck to the general examples, the general stories which are taught about the negative side of instant gratification. As a closing note, I would say that all of these things that I listed, focus, observation, stress busting, peace of mind, planning, has made me a better and a more efficient surgeon, I would say. And as any person who takes his job seriously, the more efficient you become, more success and happiness comes to you. Hence, I believe it is worthwhile picking up that guitar which is lying dust in that corner, or maybe writing that blog which you always wanted to, writing that poem or song which you always wanted to, cook that dish of which you have the recipes saved in your phone. And in the end, I believe that it will make you a better person in your day job as well. If you've been wondering what does this guy do with his camera and why he's all yapping about his photography, then you can check me out on Instagram and you can watch other vlogs which I put up on this channel. Let me know what do you think, and I will see you in the next video.